Hey everyone, Ben here from the Bonehead Podcast. Thanks for joining me. What we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be streaming the very last game of the first round of the Lockdown Bowl, being run by Rob of Secret Carnage to raise money for Doctors Without Borders. The great thing about this tournament is it's got secret teams, stunty league teams from Fumble, as well as the regular NAF teams. And this is our last round, and it is a very interesting match because we've got a secret league team playing against a regular team. So we've got Skaven. You guys, as Blood Bowl fans, will all know Skaven, but you may not know the Four Nations team. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and have a quick look at the league. And Lockdown Bowl is where we're headed. So tournaments, let's go into here. So it's going to be between the Greenburger Ruggerboys and the Boomtown Rats. So we'll start off by looking at the Skaven team. We're going to keep an eye on Discord so we can make sure that we don't miss the game, because we want to just live stream the game and just watch these guys play with a bit of analysis. Here we go. We got Steve in chat saying, enjoying last day before return to work. Wife's birthday, waiting for her to come home. Oh man, I hope she's having a nice birthday. I mean, I've got my birthday coming up on Tuesday, and when you're locked away, there's not a huge amount you can do. So I'm hoping that Tiff will let me stream or something. I don't know. Yeah, Rob, how you doing? How's the TO? You good? Mitch, how are you today? Howdy indeed. Okay, so we've got the Boomtown Rats, our Skaven team. And this is a Skaven team I really like the look of. It's a 1200 TV tournament. So you've got enough cash where you can buy anything you want for a Skaven team. And Noel, 85, our coach, has gone with the 12-player roster, 4 rerolls, and an apothecary. So instead of going the full 1200 and perhaps smashing out on a rat ogre, he's gone with 2 blitzers, Pinky in the Brain, so extra points for that reference anyway, and 4 gutter runners. Speedy Gonzalez, Danger Mouse, yep, done a good job with the names. We've got 1 thrower and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 linemen. We've got an apothecary and 4 rerolls. So this team is geared up to do very Skaven things. Skaven teams have got the movement with the gutters. They've got 4 of them, and they've got 4 agility each. So there's always potential to be scoring. Only 2 block. And more than that, only 2 with armor 8. So the Skaven are quite vulnerable. So if they suffer a lot of blocks, they could lose numbers, which is why I really like the apothecary and the extra reroll, again, to make those Skaven things a bit more consistent, with the extra apothecary and the lineman to hopefully keep those numbers up. Because when you start having to put your specialist players on the line with Skaven, it starts getting a bit ropey. Gareth, how are you? How you doing? Looking forward to the match? So that is our Skaven team, the Boomtown Rats. And the secret team for this evening is going to be the Greenburger Ruggerboys. This is the Four Nations team from Fumble, so from the Fumble Secret League, and it's a really, really cool design. We've got Sam, who's been on the podcast a couple of times. He's been on the channel as well. He won Tombstone. I think he won Tombstone. He did win Tombstone with Corn. That was a heck of a day. He had a really good day. So he loves the idea of this team, and if you are a rugby fan, you will like what this team is trying to do. We've got Linton in the chat saying, looking forward to some Skaven goodness. Absolutely, Linton. How you doing? Evening, chat. How are you? So, guys, in the chat, I want to know your predictions for the match. I want to see what you guys think, how this is going to turn on. Snotlings, oh, chat. I wish I was running my Snotlings. That game will be coming up soon. So the cool thing about this is it's the last match in the first round. So as soon as this match is over, Rob can start processing and getting ready to release, hopefully tomorrow, the round 2 matchups. Now, as I'm sitting at the bottom, way down here with a -8 modifier on a 0 score, at the moment, I'm going to be playing against this Orc team. So it could be a very interesting and horrifically brutal round 2. But back to our Rugger boys. Let me just check, make sure the match isn't starting yet. No, we're okay. So everybody has dump off and everybody has nerves of steel. And everybody is basically a human lineman. So 6-3-3-8. But they've got Dump Off and Nerves of Steel. So we should be seeing kind of the cage. If the cage is broken and the ball carrier gets hit, you've got a 3+3+ to just shovel it off to somebody else. And that can be forward passing. So you don't get the full rugby experience of lateral only. These guys can Nerves of Steel pass forward. So if we see some kind of a V or reverse V formation, it could be a really, really interesting game. Now, on top of that, the forwards, which we have 4, are basically the blitzers for the match. Hey, Craig, how you doing today? So these forwards have diving tackle and fend. So they get to keep the space, but also getting to use diving tackle on someone as they bounce away. It makes them a really effective defender. And probably my most favourite thing about this team is you've got the fullback and the halfback. And the fullback has catch and kickoff return, and the halfbacks have kick and Hail Mary pass. So you can afford these players, and then whether you're kicking or receiving, you've got a skill set that helps really control that part. So with your halfbacks, you can take that kick, and if you kick away to the opponent, you can decide exactly where the ball's going to go, really. Which, when you're starting off in a tournament, before you start building up in a league, before you start building up skills, that is a huge boon, and we've seen it in sevens many times be really, really useful. And the fullback being basically the equivalent of your ball carrier, your thrower in a normal team, having catch and kickoff return. That's 3 extra squares and the possibility of actually re-rolling that catch. So you've got a good chance to start. These 2 players effectively give this team 1 extra turn each drive with movement. And on top of that, we've got 2 wings with movement 7 and catch as well. So I think we'll see those guys do the scoring if you don't have the halfback and the fullbacks do it there. Hail Mary pass on the halfback is really cool. So actually, they kick it away, but also if you need to clear distance on the ball, Hail Mary will give you that opportunity as well. Mitch says, I love rugby, I was tight head prop. So yeah, this should be an interesting match. Okay, let's just check. So Rob reckons we're going to have 3-2 to Skaven. Rob, if you get round 2 up, that'd be wicked. If we can start playing from... When did we start last week? Was it Thursday night or was it Friday night? Give me an opportunity to finish up my round report, because what I did for this session was when Rob released the matches, I had a quick go at sort of previewing the teams and doing the matches and doing my predictions. Matt BBL, hey, how you doing? Fend plus the diving tackle is going to make it hard for the Skaven to move around properly. They are absolutely going to affect the gutters. Steve, absolutely, always. It's going to make it tricky for the gutters, and there's 4 of them. So 1 for each gutter runner. So those are some of the cool and unique skills that this team brings. But when you're playing against Skaven, there's one massive, massive advantage here, which is that everybody is armor 8 and everybody is strength 3. So the Skaven have got them on the movement all across the line, but these guys have got the Skaven on the strength and the armor. And there's only 2 players with block on the Skaven team. There's 4 dodge, but they're strength 2. So the Ruggerboys should be able to impose some strength and some damage onto the Skaven team. So I'm expecting this to be a tough match for the Skaven to survive. It all depends on how effective our Four Nations team is at slowing them down. Friday night. Oh wow! So Rob, I've got a whole evening. To prep my round 2 prediction. Matt says, I think Four Nations has the edge, but rooting for the Rats. I am actually literally the opposite. I think the Skaven have the slight edge, but I am all secret team all the way. There is basically a standing order in my favoritism, and it is Stunty League, Secret League, Normal League. And if there's something else that we could introduce, I'd be very, very, very happy. I'd be very happy. So while we are waiting for our competitors to get ready and get their match underway, we will have a look at the leaderboard. Rob in chat says, AV only matters if you're being hit. Gutter runners should get hit. The gutters are going to get hit because they form a third of the team. And this is the other thing to consider when you're playing Skaven, is that the Ruggerboys have got 13, so they've got 2 in reserves. The Skaven have only got 1 in reserve. Yes, they've got an apothecary, but even with 1 in reserve, a third of the players have strength 2. And with Skaven, you're looking at, well, the minimum of the beast, the minimum they can run is 3 gutter runners. So they're going to get the strength, and they're going to have to use those guys to put tackle zones on the enemy players at some point, which is going to give them a great opportunity to take a punch. Linton says, "Love this rugby style team. What is this witchcraft?" This is the Four Nations team from the Secret League. The Secret League have got so many cool teams, and I had not even noticed this until Sam Garner from our local group came across it. He's a rugby guy as well. He was like, "This team is really interesting," and we had a game in sevens. And I think, drew 2-2 with him against Bretonians in sevens on Roll20, actually. The video's on YouTube. It's an interesting team. I didn't really give him an opportunity to do anything fancy with the dump-off skill, but I think when you've got a 16-turn 11s game, you're going to have more opportunity to do that. T. Okay, let's just check in. All right, we are underway. So let's just boot up Fumble and go over to OBS, and we'll change it over to the other window, and while Fumble loads up, we should see it magically appear on our screen. There we go. Okay, so let's just check. We've got sounds. We've got sounds. We've got the game. So the coaches are in the card buying phase at the moment. So Rob did assign us all 100,000 to be spent on cards, and it was difficult to figure out in the first half of the first round. But if coaches agree for the remaining of the first round, they can have those cards. Matt Spibel says, "You got Twitch affiliate. Well done. Thank you." Yeah, I didn't know that was showing up or anything yet. I not really had a chance to look at what that is. They just sent me an email and I did some stuff. Right, so we've got 2 cards underway, and we've got no cards for the rats, so that's an inducement jobby right there. I've got something else prepared for this event. Let's go here while our teams get set up. Open with VLC. I thought it might be appropriate to have a little gentle crowd noise in the background to add that game effect. Right, let's go over to the Java client. So Sean's tagging James and Steve. Very interesting team. The ball movement looks bonkers. No block or dodge. There's a lot of teams with no block or dodge, and you're seeing them in this event. The Elemental team was key in that as well. So the Rugger Boys get no inducements. The Rat Boys get no inducements. And we get fan factor 11 for the Rugger Boys and 7 for the Skaven. So we are sitting with fame +1 for our Four Nations team. And it's over to Skaven to decide whether to kick or receive. So, guys in chat, you're Skaven, you're playing against the Rugger Boys. Do you want to receive or do you want to kick? As a Skaven coach, I love to receive. I know it gives the opportunity of the 2-1 grind, but you score quickly in 2 or 3 turns. You've got your whole lineup, and all you need to do is make one big defensive play, and you're in. Like, if you can score that second touchdown, you are absolutely golden. Aaron, how are you tonight? Right, so it is the first half, and yet the Skaven are kicking. So we should be able to see the Rugger Boys do their thing. I'm really looking forward to this match. Really looking forward to it. I've been wanting to see this team perform for ages, and I love that we get to see it against Skaven. And let's face it, Skaven are a popular team, and they're popular because of a reason, because they're fun. They're really fun in Blood Bowl. They can do horrible things, and they can also crumble and die. And I think that's just 2 of the best things of our sport. So we are looking at all these guys here. So let's have a quick look at the different player types. So this is Lineman, lineman, lineman. The guys with little hats are our wingers here, with both their hands up. This guy is the fullback. We've got two halfbacks, are the little tiny Boris Johnson looking guys, and then we've got the four big forwards here, and we're seeing the Skaven deploy now. So Teddy RJ kick and steal the ball. Yep, definitely a tactic with Skaven. And then you get the other grind. Skaven or Wood Elves, which is more fun? I think Skaven are more fun because they are not quite as strong. When they level up, they can be just as strong as Wood Elves, don't get me wrong, but they don't start off with War Dancers. So I think Skaven are slightly more fun. What do you think, Dan? Okay, we've got our team lined up here. We've got lineman, lineman, lineman on. Okay, so 3 linemen on the line, 2 blitzers in reserve, and 4 gutters out back. So yeah, I think if we see a bit of kick and a smash through, we've got two gunners here right at the back, ready to defend. And we get the halfback deployed first in the middle of the field. So he is Hail Mary pass and kick. Fullback here, he's our kickoff return catch player. Linton's Linton says Boris is great at rugby too. Ask that little kid. That is my favourite little video clip of Boris Johnson just running down a child on the rugby pitch. And let's see if this Boris Johnson can do it for us tonight. Jason Arcane. Teddy RJ says the GR best player in the game. Better than a War Dancer? I think at a 1-to-1 the gutter dies every time for that. Widram absolutely get some stunty out. Right, so we have got our team deployed here. And the formations are wing, forward, forwards on the edge of the line, 3 linemen. We've got a forward here, we've got a wing here. So these 2 guys are movement 7. And these are... Yeah, thank you, OneDrive. Please leave me alone. And it is a deep kick, and we get kickoff return here, and brilliant coaching. And the Four Nations team go up to 5 rerolls at the start of the half. Dan says, thanks, never played Skaven, always went Elves, and will be coming back soon. Elves are good fun. Skaven are fun. They are definitely not as strong as Wood Elves. But they're not weak. They're not a weak team by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so we've got Boris Johnson back to guard the ball. We haven't seen this player activated yet. He's catch. So our Skaven tier 1, yeah, absolutely, they're tier 1. Probably in the top 5 teams. You got Wood Elves, Dark Elves, top 2. Undead are up there. Then you're looking at Skaven. Gutter runners get mutation of the double. They do. The whole team does. So we get some blocks here. We've got another 2-die block and a lineman. Push back, push back. Our Four Nations team is just trying to clear a bit of space to move here. Another 2-die block. And this is where the Skaven team really suffers, is they have to put those 3 linemen on the line. And it's almost always 3 blocks against them. And with armor 7, at strength 3, armor 7, they can get murdered. And we're seeing this guy move up here just to tag a player. We're going to see him move up as well. Tagging another player. Aaron says, how many beans did you spend on the Punga Kickstarter then? I backed in at 500. Oh, you went deep. Is that the 5-team bundle? That's got to be more than the 5-team bundle. Nice. I think... well, I just went for the extras. So I've chucked in 30 odd quid at the moment. But they've said, like, jump in, and then when the Kickstarter thing goes out, you can upgrade and you can get all the guys. Because I'm just going for all the stars, all the upgrades and things like that. Because it's so good. Right, we've got a hit here on a gutter. Armor doesn't break. He's just knocked down, but a natural POW takes him out. In fact, 2 natural POW. Hell yes, and all the star players. Aaron, those star players are so good. What's your favourite one? Mine is the Undead Dwarf. Is great fun. So we've got the fullback on the ball. He's got the ball. Now with all these players here, I think they've moved. So there is quite an opening here. There's quite an opening for, because linemen are move 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So probably the best thing to do is to leave this guy here or just bring him across the pitch. But we've got a gutter here. These gutters are pretty safe, and this one being prone is okay. But yeah, our coach has decided to stay at the back here. Greenburger That's good positioning. And now we'll see what the Boomtown Rats choose to do on their turn 1. So just standing up the gutter on the sideline. Danger Mouse, absolutely loving the danger there. Yeah, so Dead Mouse has gone there, our second gutter. This guy's going to get a free 2-die block, and he does have the skill advantage. Anubis, all the way, that Khemri team is an absolute beauty. Yeah, there's the POW knocking down the forward. Armor holds, so armor holds, no big play so far. The difficult thing about the Khemri team is I just backed the Vortice one. I just backed the Vortice one, so I didn't want to pick up the second Khemri team, but I cannot resist those star players. I've got a box of star players here from Punga as well at some point. Okay, so back to the match. Gutter has gone. We've got a free lineman here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, he's gone for the blitz on this guy. And skull push back, so pushing him back against the line. That does help protect that gutter. We're going to see this gutter probably dodge away at some point. This guy's probably going to stand up. And again, we'll see a counter strike, I imagine, down the line here. This guy blocking him. There you go. POW push back, so he goes down. We've got armor 8 on this guy, so he's going to be alright. Gets a 5. Rob, do you mean the Punga band? Because their cheerleaders are a little undead band. Okay, we get the other free block here. POW push. Again, no armor breaks. Both these teams proving quite resilient so far. As the opening round, the opening lineup of the game, you tend to get a lot of the injuries. Okay, we've got a dodge. He succeeds, unsurprisingly, because he's a gutter. We've got nice weather, so no additional effects here. Hey, Mr. Saxby. How you doing, Rich? Welcome to Four Nations versus Skaven. We're just talking in chat about how cool the new Punga stuff is. And we got another dodge away, just stopping that free block. And he trips. Because of diving tackle. Look at that. Diving tackle pulls down that gutter. Interesting. Really interesting to see that skill used. Yeah, Rob, the band is so cool. Each one of those miniatures is really, really well done. Alright, cool. So we're seeing the wing with Catch and Nerves of Steel fly around here. We've got a forward. The other wing is very much stuck in place and with no evasion skills, no dodge and no high agility. He's going to be in a bit of a pickle. Probably the best option there will be a 1-die block on the gutter. But that's not a great thing to do. However, you do have 5 rerolls, Greenburger, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. Aaron says, heard of a few of your mates picking up 3D printers. RNE Studio on my mini factory now. Humans and Orcs. Yes, we did look at those. The STL files are actually quite pricey. It's $50 for a team at the moment. And that was on sale. The models are fantastic. The sculpts are brilliant. Okay, we're seeing a cage form here. So it's just Lyman, Boris Johnson at the back, our halfback. So this is where we could see nerves and dump off be affected, because if there is somehow a blitz on the ball carrier, they'll be able to shovel it off on a 3+3+. There we go. So positioning there to get the 2-die blitz on the gutter. Both down, both down. It's going to be a reroll. Push back skull. So the gutter is off the pitch into reserves, which does free up this lineman for a 1-die block. Rich in chat. Love the Punga stuff. The pirates are awesome. All good here. Painting, watching, listening. Wicked. Boom, boom. Aaron says, literally just had a half-price sale. $50 for both teams. Oh, that's actually really good. Okay, and the 1-die block was a both down. Greenburger, having already used the reroll, has to take it, and nobody suffers an armor break, so gets away with it for all intents and purposes. Weirdrum in chat says, really wanted to buy them, but just back the Grevo Necromals. Oh, the Necromals are such a cool team. Waiting for Hungry Charles Bretonians to be back into stock. I am on the lookout for a good Bretonian team. After running them in 7s on Roll20, I think it's going to have to be a purchase. Okay, Pinky has been saved by his block skill. So block this guy down. And we're getting a guess a free block there, but it's only a push, which actually kind of benefits this forward. There is quite a screen in the way. So even with the passing potential of this team, this guy's got nerves, dump off, and catch. This guy has catch. So passing play seems like an optimal thing to do, but when you've got strength 3 and you're going, when you've got the strength up, doing that rushing move is a very solid plan. And yep, I like what the Skaven coach is doing here, just going to try and pin this cage in position. Aaron says, I've got the Greenburger Rats, love them. They are really cool. No safe throw, they can't protect against it. No, they can't. And they're only agility 3, they've got no throwing skills, they've only got catching skills. Okay, so the blitz on the corner. Yeah, there you go. Freeze him up. Armor holds, but now there is a blitzer on the ball carrier. And the gutter in the backfield just moves up to get that tag. And we did talk about this pre-game, the fact that the gutters are going to end up in base contact against players, against opponents with better armor. It's a power push though, 1 die block with the gutter. I like it. Bold. Guy goes down, but armor holds. So, no prones, no stuns, no knockouts. The only bit of removal we've got is this guy here, which is a gutter runner into the reserves. And it's Greenburger Ruggerboys turn 3. Rob is trying to start a rumble in the chat here. How many teams does everybody have? He's only got 9. Okay, so Ruggerboys, we're just seeing stand up, keep those tackle zones on the Skaven, and this guy here will cancel out this tackle zone. So if there was a blitz in, there would be a +1 here, giving him the sweet 2 die block. Matt's BBL, a pitiful 2 teams. It doesn't matter. You can only play with 1 team at a time. Notice I'm keeping very quiet about how many teams I've got. And how many projects. There we go. So Boris blitz in for 2 dice. It's a both down and a pow. So the blitzer goes down. Armor holds. But what he has managed to do is free up the ball carrier here. So we could see a sweep round here. This looks like a pretty strong position. Or we're going to see him pull back across. Aaron, 12 or 13. That is quite respectable. But you are only halfway there. Another big block on that blitzer. On this gutter. Saved by his armor. So it's going to be interesting to see where the ball carrier ends up. I can see him ending round here. Look at the flanking move here. Just tying that gutter and this lineman into place. Now this guy is going to take a free dice, free 2 die block, but it has freed him up. And all he has to do is keep safe. There we go. And a handoff and a stretch play. It's a catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to here. If he does, we're going to have to see this wing come up to protect him. Either from a solid block. Now bringing him into the midfield is it's a stretch play. And is it going to be straight for the touchdown? He's thinking about it. Is it a turn 3 touchdown for the Four Nations team? On the plus side, we're seeing a pass already, so extra plot. There you go. It's a turn 3 touchdown for the Greenburger Ruggerboys. Okay, the chat is going crazy here for a second. Saxby, how many teams? Steve says, Standy 3 complete teams, will be 4, then 5 soon. I gave my orcs to friends so they can play. Nothing wrong with that. I gave my orc team to Milton. And he got Ian to paint it up, and now that team is just an absolute work of art. And Milton is now addicted to Blood Bowl, which is very, very cool. First try is free, isn't it? Aaron, want more, but as you say, you can't play them all. But the EU team can. Yes, Elf Union can double as high off. That's true. Linton, 11 for me, but I'd have more if I wasn't married. So you're saying, because I get married next May, Linton, I've got to get all 26 teams in. Now, Widram, Goblin, Humans, Undead, Necro, Lizards, Orc, Vampire, Halfling, Dwarves. So 9 here. What Vampire team have you got, Widram? I love the new Vampire team for the Kickstarter that's just happened. But before that, it was kind of either the old school one or a bit of a kit bash. Aaron, sad thing, I only have the Pro Elf team painted. I think I only have a paint a team if I'm going to play them in a tournament. Teddy, Nurgle team to match the dice. Pastel colours, Rob, really good. Woodroom, it would be easier to say what teams I don't have, and that is Khemri, Vampire, High Elf. I don't have an Amazon team, but I do have a Slan team with all the positionals to play Amazons. And Chaos Dwarf. I'm absolutely gagging for a Chaos Dwarf team. Norse. Basically, the ones Games Workshop haven't released, I don't have. All the ones they have released, I do. And I've got a couple of Stunty League teams as well. Woodroom 26. No, there's more than 26 teams. This is the dangerous thing. Linton, you could definitely have more of you. I've got Elf Union, so 10, yeah. Steve, Murray Shepard, put cork and outright buying. Converted Mortal Realms, Night Haunts to Vampires. Yeah, Rob, saw those. They're really good. Teddy RJ, you're right. There is 27 teams now. With the Snotling team. Super excited for that. I also have a problem in that I have multiple teams as well. So I've got three Ogre teams. Right. So we have got the Ruggerboys defend. It's a lopsided defense. So we've got a wing and a wing. So the two 7 movement strength 3 guys deployed in the backfield as your safeties. We've got the forwards. The forwards are spread out in the way to stop the gutters and being able to apply that diving tackle onto them if they do dodge away. They should see the other forward there with lineman just on the line. Putting 4 linemen on the line means they have to deploy an extra 2 of theirs to get those sweet 2-die blocks. And Skaven are deployed. We've got 2 gutters in either flank. We've got a thrower in the back. Blitzers on the line looking for those blocks. This guy looks like he's going to get a cheeky blitz in maybe to break away. But it's all going to be around the ball. I'm imagining we're going to see the kick skill of Jason / Boris Johnson. We've got dirty kick. We've got dirty trick card. It's Witch Brew. So Witch Brew 1. Madcap Mushroom Potion. The player gains jump up and no hands. Okay, interesting. Look at that kick. Trying to see if Jay uses kick to half the scatter. So that is exactly where our player wants the ball. And how many are in the post? There's a couple in the post. The Fanath Dwarf team will be very, very nice. I'm looking forward to that arriving. Vamps, yeah. What are 4 Nations teams? And what normal team are they like? What's their strengths, etc.? Well, Aaron, it's basically a team of human linemen that all have Nerves of Steel and Dump Off. And there's a few positionals grown on that, but that is the basis for the team. They're 6-3-3-8 with Nerves and Dump Off. So they are a defensive passing team. We've got forwards with Diving Tackle, wingers with Movement 7, and positional with Kick and a positional with Kick Off Return. So it's the 2-die block here on the lineman. He's down, but the armor holds. So the Skaven team being able to get hold of this ball doesn't really slow them down. There we go. Throw is in. He's got the ball. I'm not sure if we're going to see a cage here. We're going to see a cage form here with the gutters probably playing wide receiver. Mitch, have humans and orcs, Outland Enforcers, and Orc Obama. Teddy RJ says jump up is a fantastic skill. Yes, it'd be interesting to find out who actually has jump up. So another block here. Pushback skull. Skull using the reroll. Our Skaven coach is down to 2 rerolls for this half, and it's turn 3. Trying to track down which of these players drank the Witch's Brew. Oh no, so this gutter now has no hands. That is actually quite a big deal. That's a quarter of who you want to be scoring with. So we're probably going to see this gutter now just play harassment and guard to the actual ball carrier. Mantic do plastic Chaos Dwarves. I'm thinking about converting a team. Yeah, Rich. Rich, I think, has built a really good Chaos Dwarf team and was absolutely eyeing up the Abyssal Dwarves. There's one of the guys, I think it's the GNGR noob in the Discord, was saying how he's got some of the Mantic models, and they're actually quite small. that the Chaos Dwarf model is actually quite small. So it's definitely worth considering. How are we doing with the stream? Everything looks good. Let's pop that over to there. Okay, card Blatant Foul is played. Tricky to see what those bad boys do. So it's back over to the Ruggerboys. It's their turn 4 now. And the Skaven team has built a pretty solid cage here. And not only have they built a cage, but they've got 2 guys out front to run defense. The vulnerability is going to come here, I think. If they'll be able to open the side and then swarm the cage, they'll be able to get a guy onto the ball carrier, but they won't be able to make a hit at the ball carrier. Woodrum asks, what program do you use to stream? I use OBS 25, 64-bit Windows. And it is brilliant. It's my first streaming kind of thing. I got coronavirus symptoms, so I had to be locked down for a little while, and it seemed like a great opportunity to get playing. Aaron is absolutely bang on the money in the chat there. Can you imagine if Games Workshop do a Chaos Dwarf team like the Forge World Chaos Dwarves? I've seen a couple of conversions in the Blood Bowl community with the blank face masks and everything. They look absolutely great. Okay, so we're seeing Boris move in, and it's going to be a stall job on the front of the cage here. Now, you guys, if you've seen me play Skaven, you know that one of the vulnerabilities is if your cage gets mobbed, you lose the ability to maneuver around. And it is looking a little bit dicey here for Noel. We've got 2 gutters pressed up against players and a third one in close support. So Ruggerboys building up a front here. Column defense, really going for the column defense. Matt's BBS says Streamlabs is also a good alternative, a little more complex but more features. Is that what you use? I noticed that you had some cool tickers and things like that on your stream, Matt. Okay. It's all down to this wing here. Where's he going to go? What's he going to do? Just in to gum up the middle. So the Skaven team are going to get their turn back. They're going to go to turn 4 here. And look at that strength. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in the box there in the centre. This is probably the most open road, but 1 gutter in base contact with the strength 3 player. You can see a blitz coming in here for 2 dice to free up this gutter, and then a stretch play with the Skaven team flooding round to kind of screen. There we go. We get the blitz in with +1 strength from the gutter, and he is out. That is a casualty. Badly hurt, so he's only out for the game, not for the league, not for the tournaments. That's good, but that is a huge bit of removal there for the Skaven team, and it is in fact one of the forwards, and the forwards with the diving tackle are probably the piece the Skaven team is the most concerned about. Yeah, we've gone full whack with the 4 gutters for the Skaven team here. Streamlabs is for the overlay. Rob says really look forward to seeing the rest of the Games Workshop team so far. They've all been great. Widroom tried observing, but GPU on the laptop needs upgrade. Keep on getting stream drop due to encoding errors. Ah, that's a shame. Maybe try oh, tried OBS. Oh, I see. I was gonna say. So what's the movement of the 4 nations? Everybody is movement 6 except for the 2 guys with their hands up in the air. Crab claws, they're wingers. Those guys are movement 7. And look at this, we've got the Skaven team building that. Yeah. So we've got a gutter runner deep now. There's a scoring threat. That's an automatic job. And we'll probably see the rest of the Skaven team here just screen. There we go. Screen on the edge. And you guys in chat will know that I'm a huge fan of a Skaven side cage. Look at that. 3 spread side cage. Now, the bad thing about a side cage is that you can end up with a guy on the ball. Oh, it's a side column cage. That's brilliant. That is brilliant there. I was going to say, this guy would be vulnerable to a 2-die block straight down and just to put pressure on this player against the edge. But now with this player here, the best our rugby friend can achieve is a 1-die blitz here, which is actually the Four Nations team is still running 2 rerolls. So a 1-die looking for push, push, pow, pow. It's 4 results out of 3. With a reroll, should be able to get 1 player on that ball carrier. Hate it when the runners go deep. Yeah, they're very difficult to stop, but nothing is automatic. And where's the nearest forward? Forward here, movement 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be a go for it to get on that ball, on the gutter there. And this gunner is going side on. It's always useful to pile the numbers onto a cage, but that 1-die block is essentially unstoppable, because all it takes is 1 player here, 1 player here, and that blitz in. So dodge away from a blitzer, swinging around. We're just seeing a power play here from the Skaven team. It is very hard to stop Skaven from scoring, but if you do it once, you get that big advantage for the match. I am loving fumble at the moment. Seeing these teams is awesome. We get another dodge there, and it is time. It's time to see what the Greenburger Ruggerboys do to defend against this. I'm thinking that we get 1 forward up here on the gutter to use diving tackle to force him to really get him stuck in place. But with only movement 6, trying to swing these players up here to get that blitz in on the ball carrier is going to be tricky. Aaron in chat says, by the way, watched your street ball game the other day. Was awesome. Would you consider trying a dungeon bowl sometime for the YouTube? Absolutely, Aaron. We did a dungeon bowl RPG session. That's up on YouTube as well. The second half of our RPG session was a dungeon bowl game, which was great fun. But we would love to do some Dungeon Bowl and some Death Zone. Although I've been warned that Death Zone is not as great as you would imagine. Death Zone, the 4-player variant, is a bit crunchy. But I have not only got... Ooh, big 2-die blitz here on the lineman. It's a pow down. Armour holds, but are we going to see a player on the ball carrier? Or just getting in the way? Widram says, am I right in saying this is the last game of round 1 in the Lockdown Cup? It is, Widram. This is the last game in round 1. So after this, Rob will spend the next 24 hours deep in a basement somewhere running the numbers to get our match pairings for round 2. Rob says you do a 24-hour Dungeon Bowl. We've talked about this, Rob. It's very tempting, but I'm not sure anyone would want to watch Dungeon Bowl for 24 hours. I would play Dungeon Bowl for 24 hours. I'd play Blood Bowl for 24 hours. No doubt at all. But Aaron, yes, we've got the tiles from Warhammer Quest, so we could play that kind of Dungeon Bowl, and also the A4. We've got the A4 pitch elements from the original Dungeon Bowl game. 4-player Dungeon Bowl would take 24 hours. Although I'm a big fan of Dungeon Bowl with 3 balls instead of 1. So basically every other chest has a ball and you just play to the end of the score. Okay, so we've got a winger on the gutter here now. So no diving tackle, but at least a tackle zone. It's going to force that dodge out. And we're just seeing our Four Nations team move up, apply the pressure onto those rats. So while there's no direct pressure on the ball right now, there is now a screen here that this team is going to find very difficult to move through. It's a serious injury. It is a serious injury for... Who is it for? It's a gutter. The gutter is seriously injured. Looks like Apothecary was used. Originally it was a smashed collarbone for -1 strength. Well, strength 1 gutter is not what you want. Now it is just a fractured arm. So that gutter is missing next game. So depending on the outcome of this game, either the top table or the bottom table is going to be benefiting from playing against Skaven with only 3 gutter runners. I have no idea what that noise was, but it was very exciting. So we got here Widram saying I would. Aaron says I would play it for 24 hours. No foul, no rumble. Rob's got ideas. Like a room with a giant trapped in it. Ooh. You know I like giants. So I'm assuming that's fumble that crazy noise is going through. Anyway, so Boomtown Rats, it's their turn 5. And it's going to be interesting to see what we go for here. So the blitzer here. He's going to go up here and take a 1-die block on this forward. And he rolls a skull. He's got a reroll. It's the last reroll into a POW. So not going to be seeing a running lane be cleared here just yet. If we see this blitzer follow up and this guy stand up and get into there, then we are going to see... Okay, it's the fumble sound effect show. Uses fend to stop the follow-up, but it is a blitz, so he gets movement after, and his armor holds. So blitz is going to go there and pin this player. If this lineman stands up, we could see him run in and cause a bit of defense there, and then our Skaven coach has got an opportunity to either go for a bounce away with the gutter into the end zone and then scoot up for a short pass for a touchdown, or a handoff and then another gutter quick pass. Depends how many dice he wants to roll. 24-hour madness. I like the idea of doing 24 teams in 24 hours as well. I did discuss that with Tiff about whether or not I should do that on our week off, and she was lovely about it. She said, if you want to be crazy, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, Rob, I knew you could do the cheers and I knew you could do the boo. I didn't know you could do the drum roll or whatever it was. Okay, so yeah, we saw the lineman tag this wing in place. So this is a Skaven throw. We've got movement 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So cheers, applause, maybe clapping. Okay. Just building the cage back here. I wonder if what we're going to see happen is just freeing up these gutter runners to give Noel the choice of the play rather than just being forced to score quickly. It's turn 5, so if the Skaven coach scores now, the Rugger team does have 3 turns. Would have 3 turns to get the second touchdown in the first half. Okay, Danger Mouse gets the dodge away and he's into the end zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's going to be a short pass. Either a go for it for a quick pass or a straight short pass here now on a 4+ to succeed. It's a 4+ pass. He's got the pass skill. The pass is accurate, but it is not caught. That is a huge play. The gutter runner drops the ball in the end zone, and now there is just all kinds of carnage that we can see here. Fortunately, because of the placement of the ball, unless that winger picks it up, he can't actually blitz the gutter out of the pitch. I might have to turn the desktop audio sounds down. Everyone in chat seems to be going absolutely crazy. I'm assuming it's just Rob in there farming sounds to demonstrate. Just checking the chat. Hey, Joe Solo, how you doing? We were talking about you on the stream last night. Good things. Giant players. Treeman. Carnage. Matt's BBL says, Lockdown Bowl is a blast so far. It's been such good fun. I'm so pleased. Rob, you've done a great job putting this together. And to get 20 other crazy coaches involved is brilliant. It's great that you've raised money for charity, but this is just such a great event to have going on now. Now, back to the match. So we are seeing the rugby team just pile on the pressure here, locking these Skaven players into position. Boris Johnson on the side. Alpha Wolf. Alpha Wolf playing with the sounds. Rob I wronged you. I apologise. I thought you were demonstrating. So, the winger up here. Is he going to base the ball? Is he going to go for the blitz on the gutter? It is a blitz action from Carter Karras. Gets in, picks up the ball, and then pushes the gutter runner off the pitch. That was a huge moment. That winger is absolutely winning a Blood Bowl today. In there, grabs the ball, punches the gutter runner off the pitch. Oh my goodness me, and fractures his leg. So we've now got 2 gutter runners out for this game and next game. So another block here. It's a free 2-die block, double push back. Another Skaven pinned against the line. This is a bit of a rumble. The rugby team has got 2 more turns now to absolutely own this first half and get the second touchdown before the kick off for the second half. And we're going to see some more movement here. I wonder if that player is not just going to stay keeping some of these guys in place. We've got a forward up here, so no catch skill, and the Skaven team is out of rerolls, but our Four Nation team, where we had the brilliant coaching at the beginning of the game, has still got 2 rerolls. 4 for the beginning and 1 extra given by the kickoff result. Still got 2, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Too many squares to give it straight to this guy, but they've got time. Rob says, couldn't have done without you. Absolutely could have. You absolutely could have. I'm very excited to see the dice in the future when the world kind of calms down a bit. But hey, I'm already sad that this is only a 4-round tournament, and I want your help, Rob, to kind of put something together for afterwards. Because I want more. I want more secret. I want more stunty, and I want more league, because this is great. This has been great fun to see the teams grow, to see their first games. We're starting to get to grips. I'm so excited to see how the ninjas play out, because that Nippon team, very, very interesting. And so is this Four Nations team. So we get a blitzer with a 2-9 block here. Can he use block for his advantage? No, it's a double pushback. That felt like a free block for the Skaven coach. We could see another block here, either on the gutter for 2 dice or on either of the 2 players here. So Widram says, here's a list of all spectators. That's brilliant, Widram. Thank you for chucking that in chat. Clap, crickets, laugh, shock. Very cool. Okay, so we got a stunned lineman here, which frees up this gutter. Now, the ball carrier, although it is a ball steal, there are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Skaven on the pitch. So it's still 9 Skaven on the pitch, and it is a long way when you are movement 6 and 7 from one side to the other. Aaron says, ninjas? I really do not know any of these extra NAF teams. So these teams are non-NAF. They are fumble only, and this has been going on for years. And they have got some really crazy teams that are generally put together from bits and pieces of old fluff for Blood Bowl. So there's a Nippon team, which was like just samurai culture. So there's a team in the league right now that won its first game 4-2 with ninjas and samurai, and so cool. It won against Sea Elves, which was a really interesting match. Rob says, Ben isn't really taking any credit. It's helped a lot, encouraging me, rules checking. Honestly, as much Ben as me. Subscribe to Twitch. Rob, thank you. That's very kind. But everything we want to do right now, we just want to help that charity. Buy extra dice if Rob's got any that he can hook us up with. Alright, gutter is free. It's a long way to go here. This gutter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wonder if we're going to see him having to catch up with this forward here. It's a single die block over here. Boris Johnson goes down, but no one is hurt. And that is the end of the turn. So it's rugby turn 7 here. Ridram says, looking forward to getting hold of the dice. The dice look really cool, and I'm really excited. And it's a great idea to have an online tournament with actual physical loot. Rob says, or give cash. Yeah, absolutely. Donate to Doctors Without Borders, or whatever the French words are. I'm afraid my French isn't very good. My German's fine, my Russian's okay, my French is not so much. I can see a Twitch clip here Boris Johnson goes down, but nobody's hurt. That is incredibly apt, given everything that's going on in the bone. If this player sires a child and names it after one of his other players, I'll be pretty impressed. Or upset. Okay. So what do you guys think we're going to see here? It does absolutely look like our Four Nations team has got this, has got a clear running path here, but because of the move and the flexibility of the Skaven, it's going to be able to get up here, no problems at all. When he gets here, we're going to see the Rats mob him if he can't get some good blocks off. But right now, this is a stretch play. So this is to put him in a really good spot for the second half. The second half, the Skaven, I think, are Skaven receiving? No, they're kicking. This could be really big. Look at that. It was an immediate switch to this guy. An immediate switch to this forward. And now we are going to have to see these gutters pinned in place, or it's going to be a gutter attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's plenty of movement for these guys. But if he can block this guy away and tag one gutter, it's going to force one more die roll. That's it. Okay, Boomtown Rats turn 7. They have to do something right now to stop this from being a 2-0 rout for the first half. What a game so far. This is fantastic Blood Bowl. So, are we going to see the gutter tag, gutter blitz, one die? No rerolls. I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The only way they can do it is by getting a double dodge, go for it there. So yeah, gutter 1 tags and gutter 2 for the blitz up here probably. We might see a blitz here with the blitzer first, but this down here seems to be really pivotal. And what Noel can't do is risk a block somewhere else and leave this to resolve. Here we go. Deadmau5 is declaring a blitz. Here we go. It's 1 dice. This is for all the marbles. It's a POW, natural POW. So the gutter runner comes absolutely clutch and steals the ball. Well done. Okay, we need to get some cheers in chat for that one, because that is fantastic. Rob in chat says that could go either way still. Really can. Now this is turn 7 for Skaven, but what's this guy? This guy is right there in scoring range. If he can keep him safe, he's got such a huge striking distance here. Mats, that is incredibly kind. Thank you. I just love the game. Absolutely love this game. This is a great game. This is 2 of my favourite teams. Just so excited right now. So, this guy's down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, he can absolutely get a blitz here on the ball carrying gutter runner. And yeah, we did see a 2-die block up here, just knocking this guy prone and against the pitch, which really takes him out of contention for a few minutes. And there's only a few of them left. So, Skaven down here, just to apply the pressure. This guy's 1-die blocking. It's a natural POW again. We're finally seeing Noel's dice turn around. POW and a stun. Again, giving him another bit of player advantage. And we've got a bit of a cage forming on this gutter. Stopping the blitz coming in from here. But this guy here with movement 6 is still going to be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in here with a 2+ blitz. Could be a very big play. I would be surprised if we didn't see the winger pop himself here and sacrifice himself so that he can get the blitz in. And this is just a mess. Yes, it's a bit of a stretch play, and the Skaven team's going to have 1 turn to score, but it's kind of on our Four Nations coach here to make sure that the players are tagged. Just like that, Boris Johnson doing a solid job tying up the thrower. That could get real messy for that blitzer. But it might just be a way of protecting Hadley Leaguement from Well, he's still prone. It's probably not a bad thing to leave him prone, although they need the numbers. Here we go. It's a 2-die blitz on the gutter. It's a go for it. Gets it. Skull and a natural pow, taking the gutter runner down. And steals the ball again. That is the 3rd time in the last few turns that has happened. Well done, whoever put the cheers in chat. That is bang on the money. Okay, so this guy is still in 2 tackle zones, and it is turn 8. So there is an option here of one. No, because he's done the blitz. He can't get the pass. He can get the dodge. And he falls down. Goes for the dodge to get away and avoid the free blocks. Goes down, but is saved by his armor. And we're back into the Skaven's turn now. It is turn 8. We've got a thrower here that can absolutely score. And we've got a couple of gutters here that can do some nuffling. Gutter up. Pick up the ball. Pass to this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then a long pass down here, maybe. It's going to be a real stretch play. So Rob's in chat says the best thing about this format is I get to see all the games. Normally at most I'd see one. Normally I don't get to see anything. Rob, I have loved that too. I've not been able to see all games because let's face it, 11 matches of Blood Bowl in a week is quite a lot. Okay, the gutter is up. He's got the ball and it's a handoff. Fails the handoff. Interesting enough, I wonder if that was the gutter that had no hands. Picks up the ball. It was Rob. I actually think that was the guy who had the witch's brew that made him a gibbering mess. It's always a gamble taking a special brew kind of card. I mean, you all know this from running North Wales Cartage Cup with all the awesome different types of brews. Losing your hands is never a good thing. So, still commanding a 1-0 lead, the Four Nations team is going into the second half kicking away to the Skaven. That was a heck of a first half. We started out, we saw a really solid 3-turn touchdown here from what I consider to be quite a slow team. 6 movement with only 2 guys with 7. But actually powered through and did some very, very clever plays to score quite easily. Now we expected to see the Skaven come back and they had a really solid side cage on the go, but that fumble in the end zone ended that drive. It was anything but a 1, and I could only assume that Noel at home said it out loud at home, and Nuffle said have a 1, have 2 1s. I'm pretty sure it was a reroll burn situation as well. The problem is with Skaven and any kind of Edge 4 team is that as soon as you need anything but a 1, that 1 turns up and you really, really feel it. Okay, so the cool thing about this team is that these guys here have kick. So the Four Nations team is going to kick away and is really going to control exactly where that ball is going to go. And so we've got a column defense here, column defense here. There you go, shoring up this line. So I would be surprised if we didn't see a close-in kick either here, where we can just get a scrum on the go and defend the ball, or a kick here and basically fake an opening for these guys to run in. 4N is resiving. Not sure. Woodman says, I'm with you, Rob. Loving the coverage of the cup. Really makes you feel like you're so much more involved in the whole event. Yeah, the Discord was a great shout as well, Rob. Got the Bonehead Podcast Discord, which is 60, 70 people. It's really great fun. But having that second Blood Bowl Discord has been really great. Has been really great so far. So, been enjoying that. And it's been great. I've been refreshing my Fumble page every day to make sure I've not missed any action. A couple of games snuck in. I didn't get a chance to really have a proper look at them. But I've done a team review for every team. Just one paragraph based on how they're doing so far. And this is going to be the last piece. These two teams are going to have quite a lot to write about. The idea was get a little breakdown of each team so that when the match pairings come in, we can hang them up. We can tie them together. And I can have my match picks, which has been great fun to write. Here we go. Skaven are set up. The 2 remaining gutters. Now remember, this is a big thing. We've got 10 players here on the Skaven. 2 gutters are going to have a tough challenge here. What I can see happening is an opening here. Gutters up the middle. And let's see. Hey, Rob, it's a no judgment kind of stream. Like, whatever makes you happy, as long as everyone is happy and willing. Right, it's a kick. It's a deep kick. We're using kick here to pin him down. This thrower is going to have a bit of a way to go, and the ball is now on the opposite side of the gutters, which was really great placement. So lineman number 1 comes in, tags that guy in place. We've got a blitzer here. I'm probably going to see full back to guard that ball. Are you lying? Right. It wouldn't be surprising if our Skaven coach wasn't in the tank here a bit. Deep in the think tank. I think a 2-die block here from this blitzer, popping him there, following up, will free a running lane here, but it's going to be a dink and dunk kind of situation where this thrower has got a jolly long way to go to get to the gutters. And I'm not sure he's got the pass protection here to be able to stall or create a pocket in which to pass. We've got 1 guy out for the Rugger team, which means they've still got 1 in reserve because it's a 13-man roster. And 2 guys out, both gutters for the Skaven team. We did at the beginning of the game say that the strength and the armor of the Skaven could be a vulnerability. Ooh, there we go. Thrower runs in. Surehand saves the day, and it's a failed pass. Falls off the pitch, bounces in, gets thrown straight back to the Ruggerboys. And Nuffle is absolutely favouring the Four Nations team. Look at that. It's almost as if that Skaven team did not happen. And it was a kick. That is a huge play. That is a huge play. Now we're going to see a really strong drive here from the Four Nations team. If they can grind out the clock and get that touchdown in, it could be 2-0. It could be over. And it's only the first turn of the second half. Invisible Cup for the win. So winger 1 comes in, winger 2 comes in, or fullback comes in and just guards this ball. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw these other guys come in and create the rest of the cage. There's 1. This winger probably will break out. I've got a forward here. That diving tackle, I can see him being placed right there between those 2 gutters. Oh, it's a 2-die blitz on him, and it's a natural POW, so we could see another gutter out. His armor holds. He's only pinned. It's never over for gutter runners. No, that is never over for gutter runners. All you need is 1 and a whole load of horrifically good dice rolls. And the great thing about Skaven is that the game can turn around real quick. 4 turns, you can see 2 touchdowns quite reasonably. Okay, I don't know if there are any profitable blocks right here for now. We've had the blitz already on the gutter. It's 1 dice all day. And it's a POW push, taking out the lineman. Following up, and now we're going to see 2 dice. And we could just see a frontline sweep here. POW both down. That lineman goes down. Freeing up a bit of space here. Wife's cheering the red team. Honestly, it looks like the dice are cheering the red team too. The Skaven have been hampered. That 1 absolutely hurt them. And a second fail down here of what should have been a pretty easy roll has hurt them a treat. But I've got to say, both coaches are absolutely playing their dice out. Look at that. We've got all of a sudden from turn 1 kick to a turn 1 cage in the middle of the pitch for the Greenburgers. It was a... Right, okay. Look at that, we've got a perfect cage, and 1 die block is a skull and rerolled into POW push. Talking about your luck swings, armor holds, but we've got another Skaven pinned against the sideline. We'll talk about that real quick. Actually, positioning a player next to the sideline, if they're down on the ground, it is almost removal. Because they can't stand up, because they'll get absolutely hooned off the pitch. And that's just going to burn them a treat. Mitch, have you ever had a coaching clinic or considered doing one in a podcast? I never really have. I mean, we do the Bonehead Basics where we focus on an episode. We focus a whole episode around the team, the build, how to play them, and how to grow them in a league, and what's useful in a tournament, and talk through the inducements and things. But I like, and you'll see this if you ever watch me play, I like to take the high variance plays because I think it's really exciting. So I'm not Andy Nevo. I don't have the discipline not to play for glory. Skaven in League are kind of my try-hard team. Like, I will do things, but I will still always push my luck. I played one game against Rich in our league against his Chaos Pact, and I just piled on with Skaven. I just went and took all the risks and ended up 5-0. But I wouldn't say I played tight enough to be able to coach anybody. I can definitely show them what not to do. Okay, so 1-die pushback for the Skaven. So that pushback could free up a blitz on a ball carrier if we can clear this northern Boris Johnson away. Matt BBL, you just absolutely win the chat. What's the point in winning without a good story for it? Blood Bowl is all about story. It is a role-playing version of chess. You know, I think we talked about this in the Discord last night, didn't we, Matt? Like about how it's D&D meets chess, Lord of the Rings meets NFL. It's all about the story. Each player, each character, the designs are all they're all top down. They're based on theme. They're based on this player. What does he do? And we are going to see a 1-die block here. Pow push gets it. Oh, and he is knocked out. Huge. Hey, Stephen, how you doing? It's an honorary Albion team. Yeah, the Four Nations are winning, and they've just had a huge turnover at the beginning of the second half to get the ball back as well. There we go. We do see Nerves of Steel and Dump Off here against the blitz on the ball carrier to farm it off to a winger who doesn't even need catch. Look at that. That is a very cool element to this team, and we got to see it play out. Rob, no, it's not. But we went all the way to Entoyment to play that game, and it was brutal. Mitch, just curious, thanks. I mean, hey, if there's anything you ever want us to focus on the podcast, just say, because so for example, we're looking to do Dark Elves soon, and to do that we're going to be playing some games on BB2. We're going to do some practice. We did it for the Corn team. Would you watch any of my games if you want to know what to do? Seriously, I'm really bad. But why are you bad? Why do you consider it bad? If you're playing for fun and you're playing for the chaos element, you're not bad. You're just the Joker from the Dark Knight, and it's like the best thing. I mean, not for the people on the 2 boats that he pretended there were bombs on, but yeah, you know what I mean. If you like story, check out Northwell's Carnage Cup. Rob, you're exactly right. The background of that is great, and the inducements are really thematic. So Blitzer goes down, armor holds, but we are seeing the Four Nations team kind of sweep out here, push forward with the linemen, and I don't see a great angle. They definitely do not have one perfect angle to drive through. Interesting. So we're just seeing this fullback sold away to tag these guys up. It'll be interesting to see if we just see the cage move up here. Matt in chat says Dark Elves look like a heap of fun. They are. They're really good. Probably the second best team in Blood Bowl, I reckon. They don't even have the dodge vulnerability at the beginning. So Wood Elves are great, but if they play against a tackle team, they really struggle. Dark Elves don't get dodge until they start leveling up, and then you get blodging blitzers. You get 4 blodging blitzers on a Dark Elf team. You're really getting there. Stephen, I'm good. The kind of album as you probably saw from Beachhead. Yeah, you could always see my YouTube. How you were supposed to play flings. There we go. 2-die block on the lineman here. Pow. Nope, just push back or both down. So freeing up a bit of space. Probably not the result they wanted here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Skaven all around the centre here. I can't see a direct breakout for a ball carrier, but we've got a 2-die block here on a lineman, and it is a both down and pushback. So the red team's die rolls are losing a bit of their fire right now. Ball carrier stays in a little bit of a cage here. I do kind of think that we've seen a little bit of a flip-flop of momentum. the Four Nations team didn't manage to make much progress. It could be that their drive is grinding to a halt, and with Skaven, as we've already discussed, it only takes a split second for it to go wrong. So 2-die block here, push pow. He's down, but his armor holds. Woodrum, oh, I'm bad, but never stop smiling or giggling away. It's why I love the game. Never really had a bad game. Lost 7-1 against Woodies after a match on Sunday night. That is a brutal score. I laughed all the way through it. Good. I think you were playing goblins, weren't you? That does definitely work. Okay. Rob says, next time we do a team review, you should talk about what other teams you can use the minis for. That's a really great shout, Rob, because there's a lot of teams you can use multiple for. So, I've been painting up my... Alright, well, because they're bright green, they're invisible on the green screen, but I've been painting up my Slan team, and they should be good to use for Pro Elf, for Amazons, and for Slan. Okay, so with 2 dice, pushback, both down. Getting closer, look at that. All the blue on that cage. What it does mean is we've got players here for the Greenburgers that are on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Okay, we're going to see a 2-die block here probably. Yeah, 2 dice, push back. Just closing in. I'm not sure if we're going to see the player engage or just... Yeah, stay back. To kind of create a pseudo column here. We've got the thrower. Okay, we're going to have to see this blitzer stand up here now. All blitz. It's going to be a 1-dice blitz on this guy. It's a natural pow. He follows up and the armor roll. Let's see. Armor roll holds. He's only prone, but the blitzer should be able to follow up onto the ball carrier. No, he stays in place. Doesn't want to give away the free block. And also, this guy here protects all of these guys. Got a gutter moving around, and it's over to Greenburger Ruggerboys for their turn 3. Widram says, yeah, Gobbos, yeah. Like Dark Elves and the Witch Elf. Oh, so Rob, there's the Witch Elf Secret League team, but there's also the K-Knight Assassins. And Ian Triplow from Wobble is absolutely gaga over these. This is going to be the next team that I think he sees either on Roll20 or on Fumble when we start getting the Wobble guys onto Fumble. How about a look around your studio as a video? I think you'd be a bit disappointed. It's half green screen and lighting and half Tiff's makeup. It's yeah. It's PC, laptop, camera, mic, big old light, which I can't get to dim enough to stop me looking even more pale than I normally am. Okay, so stand up, move. We're seeing the Four Nations team just get their guys up, ready to brawl. So we should and can see, I think, a 2-die block on the blitzer here to clear him away. But I'm still not seeing the direct running angle. If there's a way to block him away, there you go. Take the 2 dice on the blitzer. It's a double pow. Great dice roll here. So that should free up a 2-die block here to create a running lane down the right hand side. Now that doesn't mean that they're safe from a gutter runner, but it should have a Aaron says sure, Tiff's makeup. Aaron, I think you'd get along very well with my local game group because I already got rinsed for that by Ian Warhanam Hannam. Do I look like I've done any kind of makeup? Widram says, have you tried lighting gels to dim it or give you a little more colour? Yes, that's something I need to figure out. The balance of lighting to keep the green screen honest and to keep me looking like a human is a tough balance. And I don't know, I was always a fan of Mr. Data from The Next Generation, so every time I do one of those capture Are You a Robot tests, I'm always disappointed to find out that I'm not. Yeah, so we're seeing a bit of freedom here. Now, because of the positioning of the players, it defends the ball carrier, but they're not going to be able to move up particularly far. The advantage of Nerves of Steel is that he can actually actively place the ball carrier into a position to get blocked and then pass it off to a player who is more in the open. So it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't see the ball carrier position in a place where he is ready to take a blitz because he can just shovel pass it off. I think, yep, it's a 1-die block, push back on the gutter. Unfortunately, that would probably help the gutter be able to escape with a 2+ dodge there and free himself to come round here if we get a breakaway. Is that a fullback though? It is a fullback, so forward even. Okay, so Boomtown Rats, turn 4. We are 3/4 of the way through the game. It's still 1-0. Woodrum, thank you. That's very helpful. I do have some cool lights somewhere that you can actually dim, but I don't know. I haven't really had a chance to play. I'm off from tomorrow afternoon. I finish for a week at work, and I am hoping to just get to play with all kinds of stuff. Okay, it's block time. It's Skull, power push. On our halfback here, we now have a player on the ball carrier. So, if this guy moves around and tags him, we could see, oh, I don't know actually, I'm not sure there is a way to get a decent blitz on the ball carrier here. Robin Chat says, what are we expecting the final result to be? 2-1 to Skaven. I know you were pegging 3-2 at the beginning. Right now it realistically should be 1-1, apart from that fumbled catch in the end zone. This could be either 2-0 or a 1-1 here. It really depends on how these next 2 turns play, because at the moment the Skaven team are doing a good job of stalling the Four Nations team in the middle of the pitch. We've got some bad blocks here. A week off, I'm sure the missus a secret list hidden away waiting for you. Tiff is great. She is very happy to let me geek around and do stuff. I think the fact that we bought a Switch recently so she could play Animal Crossing has really helped. That was my 3D printer money, but actually she's having a great time buying and selling turnips. The stress of the turnip sales. She bought 27,000 bells worth of turnips at 110 bells each and was worried the market would crash. So it's all very stressful here. Double pow taking this guy down. So we've gone from containment here for Skaven to attack and just applying that pressure here. The Brain, which is one of the blitzers, is starting a blitz and it's going to be round here for a 2-die block on the ball carrier. We're going to see a handoff to the winger. He gets it. It's on. We see that nerves dump off, play off again. Cheering is appropriate. It was a good play and the blitzer just a push. Just a push. That's the tricky thing with dump off, is you've got to choose to make the pass before you see the results of the block dice. So not a bad choice. But now we've got another lineman around the back here on the winger. So we are seeing that Skaven go from containing for a couple of turns to a real strength push and a 1-die block here. With a skill advantage, it's only a pushback, frees him up. Kind of probably not what that player wanted to see, because we've got a gutter here. He's going to dodge away and either fall back into defense or swing around. Just going to stay in the open. Okay, Greenburger Ruggerboys, turn 4. They are not in a great spot here. Let's do a numbers check. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 against 9. So they've got the numbers and therefore the strength advantage, but with 2 blockers for the Skaven still on the pitch, they do lose out slightly in that. And every time they get blitzed, the ball goes further back. However, we've got some movement here. It's a 2-die blitz on the gutter. Pushback, pushback. Holding on to those 4 dice here for our Four Nation team. 4 rerolls. Skaven team's at 3. Skull, both down. That's going to be a reroll. Both down, pow, push. So the gutter stays up. One more turn. Escapes doom. Rob, Skaven are so good at forcing and exploiting missed plays. I think that's why I like playing them so much, actually, Rob. Is because you get to play defense, and defense is where that puzzle, where the puzzle for Blood Bowl really, really is. And I absolutely love that element of Blood Bowl. Okay. So, where are we going to see this head next? We've seen the blitz against the gutter. And it's a pass action. It's a 4+ pass to the forward here. I'm not sure. I think we might see a bit of an interception attempt. Oh, it's an interception! Oh my goodness. Right. So now we have got Pinky, the blitzer, with an interception. That's a absolutely huge play. Natural 6 to free that up. So now we're going to see the Skaven player orchestrate a blitz free. The rugby team has committed itself to the middle of the pitch. If this Skaven player can make a break for it or find a way to get it to this gutter on the edge, this could be absolutely massive. So we've got a 2-die block here from this blitzer. It's power push and push back. So he is down, which frees up this lineman here. So are we going to see this lineman give support to the blitzer for the blitz away? Or are we going to see him himself blitz him away so that this blitzer can pass off to the gutter down the other end of the pitch? Pinky, high jump, Boomtown. That was a huge, huge play from the blitzer. Most importantly, that's 2 SPP. And those Skaven blitzers getting guard is really, really key. So we get a 2-die block here, taking down a winger and stunning him. So he's out. So we're now equal on numbers on the pitch. And the Skaven have stolen their drive back. The drive that was rightfully theirs. It's a really interesting decision tree here. He can pop him there and blitz free with the blitzer. Or he can blitz him away and swing round. That's a 1-die block. That is risky. We've not seen the rerolls used. Gutter comes round. It's a 2-die block against Boris Johnson. Both down, skull. We're going to see that rerolled by the Skaven player. Both down, pow. So rerolls into a pow. Frees him up, knocks him down and stuns. We're now looking at 9 to 8 on the active pitch. And of the 8 on the rugby team, 2 are prone. It was a dodge away from the blitzer. That is gutsy, especially with all the rerolls gone. And it is a handoff to the lineman. Again, just absolutely naturally dicing this. The lineman runs down the pitch. It's a go for it 1. He gets it. Oh, he gets it! He gets it. It is a stretch play touchdown for turn 5 for Skaven. That was a brilliant, brilliant save and a brilliant turnaround by Noel. That was some very tense Skavening. Very tense Skavening. That was brilliant to see. So, let's see who we've got out. We've still got one of the halfbacks knocked out for... Ooh, I thought that was 6 out for the Four Nations team. And out we have got 2 seriously injured gutters. So we're going to see 9 active players for Skaven against a full lineup of 11. And what this is going to do is it's going to give the Greenburger Ruggerboys 4 turns to drive down. When we saw this as an opening on the first half, and they did a very convincing 3-turn drive to score. If we see another one here, it will be 2-1 in favour of the Ruggerboys. But we've learned you cannot count Skaven out. There is always a chance. Rob says nicely done. That was in fact nicely done. That was tense. An interception and just absolutely capitalised on that opportunity with some real risky rolls there and pulled it back around. Now we have a game, says Alpha Wolf. This was always a game. Interesting enough, if we hadn't had that fumbled catch in the end zone, the Skaven team would be 2-1 up now. There is 3 turns left for Skaven and 4 turns left for the Ruggerboys. Skaven have gone 2 blitzers wide, 1 on each side, supported by a lineman, and 2 gutters deep, with 4 linemen on the line there for defense. It's 1 extra strength. That's going to be... That's not a gimme. Aaron in chat, Skavening, new and approved verbiage for 2020. Absolutely. Hey, if you haven't been Skavened, you've just not been playing Blood Bowl long enough. Alright. So the cool thing about this this Secret League team is you get some very interesting setups. So we got winger. Those are the 7 move guys. Forward, which is diving tackle, and we should have kickoff return in the backfield. So it's over to Skaven to place the ball. Rob says, just like rugby goes down to the last minute in a good rugby match. You're exactly right. So kick is going wide and deep. Fullback gets 3 squares and it's through a rock. Oh no. That is a huge moment. So the kickoff return player is hit by a rock and is stunned. So the ball is now wide and deep. in our Four Nations side of the pitch. Luckily for the Four Nations player, the two Skaven are in their own backfield, so they're not going to be able to capitalise on that just yet. So the rugby team are going to have to free up some players and guard that ball, or it's going to be a real quick turnaround from Skaven. 2-die block, that's a push pow down, saved by the armour, and just a prone. Brutal, brutal indeed, Aaron. Up here, it's a 2-die blitz on the blitzer. Pow pushback, so the blitzer is down. Probably going to see a follow-up and saved by the armour, so nothing too serious there. We've got a winger here. Are we going to see the winger make a break for it up the pitch? Yes, we are. Setting up that score. This is a movement 7 player with catch and nerves of steel, so it's a 3+ with a reroll regardless of how many Skaven are on him. And the second wing as well. Possibly setting up an opportunity to have a dump off chain. We've got a forward. A forward or a lineman? It's a lineman. Hadley. Going back to just stall on the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So definitely outside of the range here of Skaven gutter runner attacks. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw the halfback or the other lineman just fall back here to put extra tackle zones near the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, wouldn't be surprised if we saw this guy go and pick up the ball in a moment. That's good spacing. That's good discipline there from the Four Nations coach. Just putting another few tackle zones to stop and protect that ball. And then Boris Johnson is going to go pick it up. And he does so. So, from a really sketchy kick to a pretty decent controlled defensive position here and a really great forward position with the two nerves of steel catchers well within scoring range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not even a go for it would be needed for either of these players. So the Skaven team now has one turn to cut off the ball element from the forward element. If this team here, if the Four Nation team gets the ball up near this chain and gets it to those wingers, that is a 2-1 fix right there. So, because of the range, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these guys are deep enough that any blitz would need at least a go for it, and a support would also need a go for it. So you're looking at 3 go for it's to get a blitz here. This is probably the strongest point to hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blitz, 9 on the ball carrier. Goes for it and gets it, so secures that. Maybe we're going to see the blitz hit this element here. It's always difficult with Skaven when you're positioning because you want to keep your guys back because you get a really good counter-strike element. But if you deploy them back and you lose the opportunity to capitalise on a really fortuitous deep kick situation here. But then again, you can't ever bank on having thrown a rock hit the primary ball carrier. So the two gutters are just trying to get those wingers in place. Matt's BBL says 9 MA feels like cheating. They're only edge 2. And they're only edge 4. They're only edge 2. They're only strength 2. They're only edge 4 with dodge. Is this guy going to be our blitzer? Mini is making the blitz. Gets the go for it. Doesn't need it. Pow push, pow push. So goes down. Follows up. Stuns him, which is a huge play. And then is it going to be a go for it onto the ball carrier? No. No, that would have been too much. So 2-die block here. Both down and a pow. That lineman hits the ground, but he's only prone. And it looks to me that all we've got left is a 1-die block up here from the thrower. Not use the reroll this turn. It's going to be an interesting gamble if he commits. It is, and it's a skull and a reroll into a pow. Huge, huge turnaround there. And he is seriously injured. That is an 11. Fractured skull, -1 armor value. So we have got a forward. 2 forwards have both been removed now. One badly hurt, not too bad, but one is going to be armor 7 going forward for the rest of this competition. With diving tackle, it's not going to be too much work, but it does mean that for one more game, the team is going to be out one of their key positionals. Everybody in the chat is saying that movement 9 is too much. Um, yeah, the forwards are the blitzers, essentially. They've got diving, tackle, and fend. So they kind of help funnel. I think them getting block or guard makes a huge difference. And having 2 out this game means they're not going to get the SPP. And having 1 miss next game is going to mean they're going to be down to 3 key defensive pieces. Obviously, it will all depend on what team they come up against next round. In fact, let's throw an arrow to chat. We've got the Four Nations team. We've watched them play for 3/4 of a match now. What team do you think they're going to be able to perform well against? And what team do you think they're going to struggle against? Rob is continuing to hate on fast players. 10 move, sprint sure feet is cheating. His name is Zapbolt, my star gutter runner. Absolutely. Talking of gutter runners, we've got a gutter runner up here that's been knocked to the ground. Saved by his armor, is only prone. And we've got a blitz here. 2 dice, push back, both down. Is it going to be a push? It's a push to free up this winger. Right on the edge of the touchdown zone. Widram says, dirty, dirty rats. My most hated team since I first started Warhammer Fantasy Battle. I got tabled by a Skaven team. I have hated all rats. Widram, was that... What edition of Warhammer Fantasy Battle was that? Was that 6th? Was that 6th with rattling guns and sorcerers? Matt, they're going to have a tough time against those ethereals. Disturbing presence everywhere. Yeah, that will absolutely shut down their dump-off game. Widram 5th. I never played Skaven in 5th edition. I was High Elves all the way in 5th edition. Went into 6th, and then it was 3rd, 4th and 5th with High Elves and Dwarves for me. 5th edition with the Lizardmen. That was the Lizardmen from the box set against Bretonnians. Ian Warham and Hannam had that. I had a French copy randomly. It was 6th. There you go. 6th with the rattling guns and the extra leadership from ranks. Oh, I love 6th edition. We play it in 6mm. Really cool. Small hammer, we call it. Anyway, back to the game. And the ball carrier is active, and it's going to be a pass action, and it is Hail Mary pass all the way to the other side of the pitch. Now these guys have catch, so that was a huge gamble. So that was basically a punt. That is very cool to see. It's great to see this team just using its skill set. It's not so great to punt away to a Skaven team who have got an immediate scoring action. That could be huge. All we've got to see is one of these players pick up that ball, get it to this gutter. That gutter comes down here. We've seen that Noel, our Skaven coach, is very willing to take natural die rolls here. Small hammer. It's so good, Widram. It's so much fun. Dark Elves never won a game. Executionists and Dark Elves were great. The evil swordsmasters. Rob, they won't like my Siege Horror or the Bombers. I'm really excited to see the Horrors team play out. Okay, so is it going to be... Excuse me, guys. Is it going to be a 1-die block here in the centre of the pitch? No. Okay, 2-die here from the Blitzer. Skull and pushback. Not quite the liberation the Skaven coach wanted to see there, I don't think. But again, it frees up. Now, this ball control element here, surely we could have to see either a thrower dodge to get the ball to the gutter, or the gutter himself is just going to grab it and have to run. He's still got a turn after this, and we've got actually some receivers here. Aaron in chat, can't remember what edition, but it was when Vampire Counts could have a unit of blood dragons, and it was nearly 2,000 points on its own. I think that would have been 7th. Vampire Counts in 6th edition didn't have the Supreme... Oh my goodness, so the gutter went for it. It was a 1, reroll 1. So that gutter has failed now twice. It might not have been that gutter. Probably wasn't that gutter. I think that was the gutter that took the Witch's Brew. But regardless of what happens, that is a huge moment. And we could still see this touchdown happen here for the rugby team. Nerves of Steel could be really key. I think it was 7th or 8th then, Aaron, with the Blood Dragon Knights. Matt says, Nuffle's giving us an interesting game. This is a heck of a game. Poor Skaven have had some terrible rolls, but we've got to give it. The Greenburger Ruggerboys have played solidly. Now, remember, the one element that we haven't discussed here is that Skaven is a team that's been around for 5,000 years. Okay, it's a winger blitz. It's one push back or both down. And that was after burning a reroll for double skulls. So he's freed up the ball. We've got a winger here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could see a 3+ pickup and a 2+ go for it for a turn 7 score. Okay. I wonder if there's going to be... That just looks like containment there. That solid play from the Four Nations team. Solid play here to contain all those receivers so that if this goes wrong, this gutter can't do it. Hits a pickup. It's 3+. He gets it. This is turn 7. It's a go for it into the end zone. And he goes down. It is a failed go for it into the end zone. What is happening? This is turn 8 for the Skaven team. We've got a gutter here. We've got a gutter here. We could see gutter to gutter down the field. If we can free up one of these guys here, this could be a last turn 2-1 win. Widram in chat says, hearing all you do down south, sometimes I wish I lived down there, but then I remembered it's full of southerners and changed my mind. Hey, we play some good Blood Bowl down here and some great Warhammer. Okay, this is it. This is the big turn for the Rats. Gets a stun. It's the gutter. It's... Oh, the gutter's going up. It looks like what we're going to see here is just some block farming. That knocks him down, knocks him prone. That's going to be an extra turn. However, there is no turn after this. This is the last turn. Who is this guy? This is a lineman. Are we going to see lineman blitz that gutter runner free? No, lineman down the end. But it's their turn 8. I'm not quite sure what's happening. Rob says he's on the edge of his bed. Nuffle is loving tonight. If he can pull this off, it'll be savage. Aaron, you are exactly right. There's still a chance. Here we go. So the gutter runner gets the first dodge. Can he pick up the ball? It's a 2+. He picks up the ball. Okay, we're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares. This is going to have to be some kind of throw action here to one of these guys, surely. Or he holds it and just plays for the draw. Doesn't seem very Skaven. It's a go for it for that 10th square. And it's a throw. And it's a failed catch. But what he has done is he has cleared that ball out and almost guaranteed a draw. That was huge. That was an absolutely huge sequence. So let's have a look from the Four Nations players' point of view. What can he do to achieve? We've got a guy here. We've got a guy here. So there's 2 scoring opportunities in the end zone. And this is the very last turn of this match. If we've got Boris Johnson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nerves of steel. We've got 2 players here. We've got a couple prone. One is stunned. One is prone. There is an opportunity for a stretch play. It's just around whether or not the dice will allow it. Because we're going to need to get this ball from here all the way to one of these guys. He has to stay put. This one has to be pivotal. Carter Karras has to be pivotal if this is going to be anything other than a draw. It's going to have to be at least 1 dodge roll and a very brave pass. But the rugby team has got a reroll. Actually, Rob in chat points out that there is still the opportunity for Hail Mary, and as a Green Bay Packers fan, I can tell you I do love a good last moment Hail Mary pass. Just Hail Mary and hope for a good scatter. Maybe line the other guy in the end zone. It's a ball pickup on a 4+, gets a 6, gets the ball, gets the dodge away, and this guy is going for a pass action. So we are going to see that pass. It depends on how deep he goes. It's going to have to be to this winger. At 6, it's a go for it for 1 more square. It's a go for it for another square, and now we're going to have to see a 5+ pass. Or is it a 6? It's a 5+. There's a Skaven in the way. It's an interception. The brain, our blitzer, intercepts the ball and ends the game on a 1-all draw. What was that? Guys, in chat, what do you think to that? That was a heck of a game. I'm so glad we got to watch that. That was awesome. I definitely thought the Skaven had the slight edge there, but that rugby team played its heart out. Pinky and the brain with the intercepts. Was it 1 each? Was it 1 each? then we are going to have to see. We're going to have to switch away here and look at the stats in a moment. So let's close that bad boy down. Do we want to leave the game? I don't really want to leave the game. I want to see it again. Right, let's go over to the webpage. Pinky the Brain with the intercepts. Woodrum, such a great game and good banter. That was a great session. Thanks very much, guys. Aaron says, still savage. It was savage, and it was so close. Let's drop off the sound effects, although there's going to be some cheering for a little while, I think. And we will bounce over to Fumble here, and let's see if we can see the end of the game and check out the stats. So the game is still going on. The game is still going on. The stats live? They're not live, so we're going to have to wait a few moments to see this game resolve. That was great. Was that Brain's second interception? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Brain got 2 or if Pinky got 1 and Brain got 1. Rob, that was a heck of a match. That does wrap up round 1. So I want these stats to upload so we can check the leaderboard, because if Pinky got 1 and Brain got 1, hey, it's just a win for 90s cartoons everywhere. Aaron says, I do think the Four Nations team is pretty broken, though. The skills they get are hanging. They are a strong team. They are a strong team. We saw a great performance. Now, they had a lot of luck. They had a lot of great plays. And the same thing could be said for any team. I don't think it was dominant. Definitely wasn't dominant. That Skaven team was still in there. And with a few different die rolls, the result would have been very different. But I do think it is worth looking at. And I'd love to see. Now, Rob said this right at the beginning. There are no models. Did he say this at the beginning or in the... He might have said it in the Discord. But there are no models out there at the moment for the Four Nations team. But I think if we can brew up a Kickstarter, I think there'd be a market for it, because, you know, if you like Blood Bowl, the chances are you like American football or you like rugby, and American football is covered, but rugby isn't. So refresh, come on, the game is over. Let's have a look at the stats real quick. All right, so let's go straight to blocks. 42 from the Ruggerboys, 44 from the Skaven. Evens. 2 casualties for Skaven, 1 casualty there. Now, what we really want to see is the interception stat, and that is it. That is Pinky and the Brain, both at 1 interception apiece. So, let's have a look and see what the Boomtown Rats got for their level up. It looks like MVP... Oh... MVP went to a gutter, so the Skaven team doesn't actually get any level ups and are down 2 gutters for the next round. Definitely a consideration as to whether our Skaven coach, whether Noel here drops one of the gutters. This one's missing next game. It's got no SPP. Whether he actually gets rid of Danger Mouse and buys a new one to bring him up to 3 gutters for the next match. And the Greenburger Ruggerboys, who played their little hearts out. What do we see? We got this guy down, minus armor. 7 SPP here. So one of the forwards, diving tackle, now with block. And other than that, we got a completion here. We got touchdown and a completion here. No massive skills. Sitting at 110. Again, it is possible that in this short league season, we could see this guy sacked off and replaced for 80k for another vanilla player. Okay, Matt in chat says you could use the Reavers easy enough with some extra parts. Yeah, definitely. I like the Reaver models for Blood Bowl. Really cool. Rob says the next round is up now, so let's do it. Let's go. Have a look and see the next round. Round 2. So, let's go to the leaderboard first. So, Skink, Lizardman, top 2. Dark Elf, Hobgoblin, Nippon, Dwarf, Necromantic, Tzeentch. The Tzeentch team is pretty cool too. We've got Ethereal, we've got Halfling, we've got Skaven, Dwarf, Four Nations and Elemental, all sitting there at a draw apiece. So that is a really interesting midfield. Norse and Sea Elf with Amazons surprisingly suffering their first round losses. Down at the bottom here we've got Horrors. Fair enough, it's a secret league team. Ogre Kingdom. Yep, Stunty. Wood Elf got destroyed by Dark Elves in the first round. We've got Orcs and Snotling. So I would be surprised if I am not playing. I am indeed. So we have got the Morchester Hitty, which is the Ogre Kingdom team, against the Downed Rascals, which I think are Wood Elf. So that is Ogre Kingdom versus Wood Elf. Old Deers United, which are Amazons, against the Blue Fire Burners, which is the Tzeentch Horror team. We've got the Holywell Raiders, which I think are Norse. Yep, against the Sealand Fairies, which is the Sea Elf team. That'll be a bit of a brawl. High Armour and Agility against Block. Greenburger Ruggerboys, we've seen them against Earth, Wind and Fire. This is looking like a very, very great and very interesting match there. That's the Elemental team, run by Mats himself. Bridgeroom in chat says taking a quick screen grab as I'm top, but I'm not there for much longer. So the Boomtown Rats, which we've just seen play a real tight game against the Slowton Wanderers. That is not a great matchup there. That is Skaven against Dwarfs. That is a tough brew there for Skaven. Can definitely be done, but it's going to be a tough one. Silvermarsh Spectres, that's the Ethereal team from Stevie126 against Corona Apocalypse Now, which I'm pretty sure are the Halfling team that went evens with the Dwarf team in the first round. Very cool. Stab, going to be huge in that game, I think. Clawvid Town, which I cannot remember what that is. Clawvid Town is Necromantic against New Guy, and New Guy is running Tzeentch. So Necromantic against Tzeentch. That's going to be really interesting. Chosen of the Orange Simca. This is the Nippon team that I'm very excited to see against doing this for Mia. So that's another dwarf team. So the ninjas that have both just taken up dodge are going to find themselves at a disadvantage against the 6 or 7 tackle players that they're going to come up against. Lockdown Brawlers, which are the Dark Elf team run by Gothmog, against We As The Good Guys, our Hobgoblin team. That will be really interesting. Hobgoblin has performed very well. Very well. Get Your Crocs Out, which is our first place Skink team up against the Rakatop Reptilioids. So that is going to be a lizard off. We've got Skink and Lizardman there. That's going to be a huge match. Going to see a lot of bash and a lot of dash. Will be great. And the Lockdown Log Botherers, which I think are Orc. They are Headlock Holmes against me. All aboard the Pump Wagons. So yep, gonna die a lot in that game, but I'm going to try my very best to take some orcs with me. And I think on that incredibly optimistic and positive note, we are going to wrap up for this evening. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys in chat. Thanks for hanging out. It's been great fun, a great match. Rob, if we've got a day, I'll get my match picks up tomorrow night, and you guys can judge me. And it should be really great fun. And I cannot wait to start round 2. And I'm off next week, so if we can get some games going, I might see if I can stream as many as possible. The log botherers, yeah. Right, guys, thanks very much in chat for joining me, and we will see you very soon for some more coverage.